Okay, rolling.
Okay. Hello, folks. Here we are again. My name is Alex Kalognomos.
My name is Mike Michaud. Michaud.
It's Michaud.
I hated that introduction.
Want to do it again? Let's do it again.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Mike Michaud.
My name is Alex Kalognomos. Welcome to Mike and Al. What the hell?
What the hell? We're here to talk about, what are we talking about today, Alex?
We're talking about a film that I recommended to you.
That's right.
Called Leave Her to Heaven.
1945, folks. And if you think, oh, a 1945 film, well, who wants to talk about that? Wait till you hear about this film. It is a film noir exemplar. Is it not?
That's right.
Directed by Jonathan Stahl from a book by Ben, forgot his name. Anyway, we'll be back in a second to talk about it. Oh, got it, okay.
Okay, wait a second. The director is
Jonathan Stahl.
Jonathan Stahl, based on a book by
Ben Addy. Come on.
You want me to take them?
Would you? Thank you.
Yeah.
Go. Here we are. But we're back. So, Alex, tell them a little bit about Leave Her to Heaven.
Well, Leave Her to Heaven follows the story of a woman who's so possessive and obsessive with her love for her husband that it ends up turning this paradise that they're living into an absolute hell.
It does. And who plays the socialite?
The socialite is played by the lead actress, Jean Tierney.
Jean Tierney.
Who was nominated for an Academy Award for playing this part.
That's right. And who was the other actor?
The other actor was Cornell Wilde.
Cornell Wilde, one of my favorites.
Why is he one of your favorites?
You know, I don't know. I saw him in a movie called Naked Prey. And that's how I first discovered him later on in his career.
That's right.
But he affected me because he was so physical. Anyway, this film did so well for Fox that it grossed $5 million worth worldwide and was the biggest moneymaker for Fox in the 40s.
Isn't that incredible?
Out of all the movies. And it was nominated for 4 Academy Awards. It won one for cinematography.
All of this is so interesting to me because you would not think that this film, that decade, and you know, the 1940s is so interesting because it's really two parts of that decade. You have war and post-war and different, genres of cinema representing those eras. This film is rather dark to have been the number one box office, slam dunk for 20th Century Fox. That said, when you watch it, you realize the level of artistry is unmatched. This director had produced and directed over 100 films, and it was at the end of his life.
Who directed it?
Stahl. His last name was Stahl.
Jonathan Stahl.
Jonathan Stahl.
That's right. And it's interesting. This film reminded me, it's the precursor to The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, all of these femme fatale movies. Jean Tierney was brilliant in this. But
she
the
really
thing
was.
that I got to tell you, she plays this psycho. Basically, she's in love with Cornell Wilde, who's a writer. But what he discovers later on is not only is she affectionate, but doesn't want anybody else to be affectionate or even take his attention away from her. And she winds up killing everybody that does do that. But what struck me in this film, Alex, was the costumes.
You would never know that going into this genre. Believe me, it doesn't read that way at all. I just felt like I had to say, I just had to say that.
You're right.
Because, of course, as Mike said, it is a film noir, but it's shot in and everyone always talks about this because it's shot in color and like these incredible jewel tones, and that's really symbolic of the beauty that they're surrounded by on this lake, this island.
This is early Technicolor. This is early color. What struck me with the film was everything was so bright. It reminded me of Venus coloring pencils. Remember that?
Yeah.
Where the
reds are reds, greens are greens.
It's so bright.
Yeah.
But the costumes.
Oh, they're so
The costumes. Listen, if you see this film for nothing else, just go watch it for the costumes.
I think anyone would appreciate this. It doesn't matter if you're have never really even seen this genre before or aren't a fan of films from the past. The reason being, the performances are so great. There's two women, two leads in this film. There's Jean Crane, who plays the very innocent,
beautiful. I love her.
Innocent and victim to this insanity of
Jean
Tierney, who actually frames her after she's passed away, she still frames Jean Crane for a crime that she didn't commit.
Gene
It's
Tierney
really
ends up
twisted.
killing everybody in the film just because they like her husband.
What was your what the hell moment?
My what the hell moment in that film was when Gene Tierney is in a dinghy and Cornel Wilde's brother, who can't walk.
His baby brother.
But he can swim, kind of. He's swimming alongside the boat and she stops the boat and he keeps swimming. He says, I can do it on my own. I can do it on my own. And he can't do it on his own. And he's going, help me, help me. And she just sits there and watches him drown.
Every sound,
Oh,
the
man.
sound mixing is so fascinating in the scene. And if for no other scene, you want to watch this film just because of this scene, because everyone always references it in film class. I know that Martin Scorsese always talks about how influential this film was for him, especially when he shot The Aviator and when he shot New York, New York.
Yeah.
But in that scene that Mike just talked about, the way the water sounds, the way the movements are choreographed, and of course the stillness of
Very
Gene
subtle.
Tierney behind these
Very subtle.
sunglasses, incredible.
You know, you think about that film like Psycho, where you got the famous stabbing scene in the shower.
That's right.
This had none of that, yet it was just as terrifying to just sit here and watch her. You know, you could see it all in her eyes, just watching this last vestige of distraction to her husband.
Very, very subdued performance. And I would recommend that when you see this film, you also read about the life of Gene Tierney, which she ended up being a victorious character in her life, but she suffered quite a lot because of her own issues with mental illness. So when you see a film like this, you can't help but wonder, you know, how close to home does something like this hit for an actor, for an artist like that. So an incredible piece of art.
All right, 1 minute. Wrap it up.
Well, I just encourage everyone to see this film. Let's not forget about the incredible legacy of films from the Hollywood Golden Age, which this very much was. The discovery of an actress like Gene Tierney, who's made so many other great films, as well as this film, Leave Her to Heaven. And this is her crowning achievement.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with Alex. I also think that, you know, these kinds of film, these old films, give you a peek into the culture back then. If you listen to the dialogue, and you listen to the way they react to each other, you can get a glimpse into what it was like living in that area. That's what I like most about these old films. So don't poo-poo them and put them aside because they don't have a lot of, you know, CGI and there's not a lot of action. But if you appreciate film, you'll appreciate this film for the very subtleties of it all. And remember, it won an Academy Award for Best Cinematography.
That's right.
All right, that's all I can say.
We've said enough, haven't we?
Subscribe or whatever.
Oh, you want me to say that? Remember to comment, like, and subscribe below.
Mike, get out. What the hell?
Can we do that part again? Why don't you wrap it up?
No,
Wrap
you
up the
wrap
film.
it up.
Wrap it up.
No, I want you to do it. You do it so well.
Remember to comment, like, and subscribe below.
Mike and Al?
What the hell?
See you next time. Alex, that was very good. All right.
Good.
Somehow scooting this way though. Where his shoulders are.
Sorry.
Got it.
Like this.
Yeah, he's trying to kind of edge me out here.
My God. Oh, I'm not trying to edge you out at all. Listen, I'm listening to you.
It's the and Al.
I'm listening to you the entire time. I look at you now.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Can we look at a picture, a little piece of that, please?